Martha, my neighbour, has just been in to see me. She was so excited. You'll never believe it, she said. That little girl, Jairus' daughter, she died. She actually died, and Jesus brought her back to life again. Can you believe he can do that? And then she was gone, dear Martha, off to tell someone else the good news. Can I believe it? Yes, I can believe it. He's done it before. You see, I know a lot about Jesus. Stuck here inside these walls, shunned by everyone. This is what's kept me going, listening to the people talking outside on the streets. And they talk a lot about Jesus. Well, he's done such amazing things. He healed a leper, a demon-possessed man, a centurion servant who was close to death, and yes, in Nain, he brought back to life the only son of a poor widow. Jesus seems to care about everybody. Lepers, madmen, widows, even centurions. So when I saw him coming through our village, I just thought he might care about me. It's been so lonely living with this illness. 12 years I've been suffering. 12 years I've been bleeding. I've spent all the money I have on doctors, and instead of getting better, I've just been getting worse. But the worst part of it is, there's been nobody to share this suffering with. Nobody has come near me. I was unclean, unacceptable. Who in their right mind would come near me? Martha would drop by occasionally and leave some food, but she didn't stay. Why should she? So I was just left here, waiting to die. And then there he was, Jesus in our village. I heard the crowds at first, and then I heard his name. So I got up and I went to the window and looked out. Oh, a huge crowd of people were there. Some of them I recognized. Jairus was there, the leader of the synagogue. He looked desperate, and as they got closer I could hear what he was saying. He was saying, my daughter, please heal my daughter," over and over again. Oh, so that's where Jesus was going. This was important, and I didn't want to stop him, and I didn't want to make him unclean, but I was desperate too, and I thought if I could just touch his clothes, that would be enough. I would be healed. But how? It was such a big crowd. But I knew I'd have to try, so I stepped outside the house. Some people saw me and shouted at me, Get away from decent people." But this time I wasn't going to listen. And I walked forward, deeper and deeper into the crowd, closer and closer to Jesus. But I couldn't get close enough. There were too many people around him, and I could feel my excitement turning into despair. Then I looked down, and there it was, the edge of his cloak trailing along the ground. I got on my knees and I reached up my arm as far as I could, and then I felt it. I felt the material brush past my fingers, and then, oh, the most amazing feeling. I can't describe it, but it just swept through my whole body, and I just knew that I was healed. I got up and I tried to make my way out of the crowd, but then Jesus stopped. Oh no, don't stop, just keep going, I thought. But he didn't move. "Who touched me?" he said. Well, one of his friends said, "Master, what do you mean? There's a crowd of people all round you." I breathed a sigh and tried to make my way out of the crowd again. But Jesus still didn't move. Someone touched me. I felt power go from me. Well, I knew I had to own up. So I went forward again and I got on my knees in front of him and I told him it was me. And I told him why I had been so desperate to touch his cloak. I told him about those 12 years of shame. Everybody was listening to me now. People who had shunned me and avoided me for years. Now they knew what that had been like. And then I looked up at Jesus, and he was smiling. And then he said the words that I will never forget. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. Daughter, go in peace. Later on that day, Jesus gave a little girl her life back. I think he knew he'd done the same for me.